So friends, let's see today's lovely sprouted moong usal. Now I've taken 1 cup of green moong, washed it really well and soaked it for about 8 to 10 hours. After that I drained out all the water and again kept it for another 8 to 10 hours. And then you will see that it sprouts like this. And now we're going to pressure cook it with just adding about 1 cup of water. We're going to pressure cook this for just one whistle on high, and the minute the whistle comes on, just put the flame off, and once the cooker cools up, you can see that the moong is nice and cooked. We don't want to overcook it. Now I'm going to heat a pan, and once my pan is nice and hot, I'm going to add a tablespoon of oil. Now once the oil is nice and hot, I'm going to be adding half a teaspoon of mustard seeds or mori or rye. Let the mustard seeds splutter. Then we're going to add half a teaspoon of cumin seeds or jeera. Next, we're going to add 1 light green chili chopped fine. Fry the chili nicely so it flavors the oil, and let the chili get nice and fried. You know, it gets this little white coating on the top. So fry it well. Then I'm going to add 2 cloves of garlic that I've chopped fine. Fry the garlic well too, so the rawness of the garlic goes away. Keep your flame between low and medium. Now I'm going to add half a teaspoon of asafoetida or hinga and half a teaspoon of turmeric powder or haldi. Mix everything nice and well. Get the bagar nicely fried. And now I'm going to add 1 medium-sized onion that I've chopped. Mix everything nicely and let the onion get nice and fried. So this usal doesn't take much time to get ready and it's really delicious. Now I'm just going to add my sprouted moong along with the water that was, it was cooking it. So when I was cooking this moong, like for 1 cup of moong, I added about 1 cup of water. So add the water too and just mix everything nicely together. Now we just have to add a few ingredients and our usal will be ready. So I'm going to start by adding some salt to taste. Now you can use this recipe for, any of the other sprouts also. You can even use this with white vatatna or with matki. Now I'm going to add a tablespoon of Kitchen King masala. Now this Kitchen King masala adds a lovely flavor to this usal. It's easily available in stores. It comes in this green packet. You can buy any brand. But it really elevates the flavor of this dish. It's got lovely spices in it. And now we're just going to cover and cook this for about 5 minutes on a low flame, stirring in between. Now since we already pressure cooked the moong, we don't need to cook this usal a lot. Our usal is all ready. All we need to do is just garnish it with a little bit of coriander. And that's it, guys. Your usal is ready. You can have it with pori, chapati, or you can have it with rice. It tastes simply delicious. You can even squeeze a little bit of lime for that extra kick.
Delicious Goan chana usal. Now here I've taken half a cup of kabuli chana boiled. I'll leave the instructions in the description box and the comment section as to how to get them to the perfect consistency. We want them to be really well cooked. Now let's look at the other ingredients. Here I have half a cup of freshly grated coconut. We're going to use 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric powder, half a teaspoon of asafoetida and half a teaspoon of mustard seeds, some salt to taste. This is 1 tablespoon of coriander seeds or dhania. Here I have 1 inch of cinnamon, 8 peppercorns and 4 cloves. A few curry leaves, about 3 or 4 dried red chilies, 2 teaspoons of jaggery and 1 teaspoon of cumin seeds. Now first I'm going to dry roast the spices, that is the red chilies, the cinnamon, the cloves, the pepper, the coriander seeds and the jeera. or the cumin seeds. We're going to roast them for a whole 1 minute on a low to medium flame till you get the lovely aroma of all these spices. Once they're at room temperature, I'm going to transfer them to my mixer jar, add the coconut and also 1/4 cup of water. And we're going to grind this to a very smooth paste, and we are also going to retain the masala water. Now I'm going to heat a pan and I'm just going to add about 1 teaspoon of oil. Spread the oil around. Now once the oil is nice and hot, we're going to add the mustard seeds. Let the mustard seeds splutter. Once they begin to splutter, we're going to add the curry leaves. Next, we're going to add the hing or asafoetida as well as the turmeric powder. Give this all a good mix. And then we're going to add our cooked kabuli chana. Let me tell you quickly how I cook them to the kabuli chana. So first I soak the kabuli chana, wash it really well under water thrice, soak it. Okay, now we're going to add the ground masala. I will tell you how to make the kabuli chana as we go along in the recipe, and I'll leave it in the comment section. So after you have washed it well, soak it for a good 7 to 8 hours, and after that cook it in your pressure pan for 1 whistle on high. Now we're adding the masala water, 1 whistle on high, and then simmer it for 15 minutes. So in total I've now added about 3/4 cup of water. Don't worry, I'll leave the instructions in the description box below as to how to cook the kabuli chana. Now I'm adding the jaggery or the gourd or the gur, and I'm adding salt to taste. And once you pressure cook it, let the pressure pan cool completely. And then you just take one of the kabuli chanas and press it between your 2 fingers, the forefinger and the thumb, and it should be really nice and soft. It should immediately crush. So now mix everything really well. And now we just have to cover this and cook it on a low to medium heat for about 7 to 8 minutes till everything comes together. And now our lovely usal is ready. My kitchen has a beautiful aroma of this and I can't wait to dig in, and I'm just going to garnish it with some fresh coriander leaves. And our beautiful Goan chana usal is all ready. I like to have this with some hot rice or some pav.
So friends, let's see today's lovely Goan chana usal or Goan vatatna usal. Now here I've taken 1 cup of vatanas. These white vatanas that you get, wash them well and soak them in some water for 4 to 5 hours. Now I'm going to transfer this to my pressure pan and add 2 cups of water, and I'm going to cook it for 1 whistle on high and then simmer it for about 10 minutes. And now you can see that the vatana is nice and soft and cooked. Now I'm going to mash it coarsely. I don't want to mash it into a paste, but just mash it a little bit coarsely. So retain that. Now for the masala paste, I will take half a cup of freshly grated coconut. Here I have about 6 dried red chilies, 1 tablespoon of coriander seeds or dhania, 1 teaspoon of cumin seeds or jeera. This is 10 to 12 peppercorns or miri. This is half an inch of cinnamon or dalchini and 7 cloves or lavang. Now I'm going to heat up my pan. I've taken off the stems of the red chilies, wiped them clean, and now I'm going to add these chilies to the pan and I'm going to dry roast them for about half a minute till they become nice and crispy. You'll get the aroma of the chilies, that means you know it's done. Then I'm going to add the remaining whole spices. And the chili takes a little longer time than the spices, that's why I first roasted the red chilies. So you can make this masala and keep it, in advance, and make this usal whenever you feel like. So you can make a bigger quantity of this masala powder also and store it by doubling or tripling the amount. Now once this is done, I'm going to bring this mixture to a room temperature. So I'm transferring this to a plate, preferably a glass plate or a steel plate, so that it cools completely before we grind it in a mixer jar. Now I'm going to add some fresh coconut to my mixer jar, And then I'm going to add the spices. So you can make the spice powder and keep, and then just add it to the fresh coconut, add water and make the paste. That's also a nice shortcut method, and then you get this lovely paste. So our paste is ready, and I've also retained the masala water. Now in the pan I'm going to heat 1 tablespoon of oil. Once the oil is nice and hot, I'm going to add half a teaspoon of mustard seeds. Once the mustard seeds begin to splutter, I'm going to add half a teaspoon of cumin seeds, half a teaspoon of hing or asafoetida, half a teaspoon of turmeric powder or haldi powder, and some few fresh curry leaves. Now give this all a good stir on a low heat. Now I'm going to add the cooked vatanas along with the water. Mix everything nicely together with this bagar. Now I'm going to add the ground masala paste. Mix everything nicely together. Minute you add the masala, the aroma just is amazing. And now add the masala water. If you want, you can add a little more water if you want it to be a little more runny, but I like it a little on the thicker side. Now I'm going to add some salt to taste. Mix everything nicely together. Now I'm going to add a little bit of jaggery or gur. You can also substitute that with sugar if you don't use jaggery or jaggery on a regular basis. Mix everything well. And now you're just going to cover and cook this for about 5 minutes on a low to medium flame. And our lovely vatana usal is all ready. I can't wait to dig in. Even this goes very well with some pav. You can have this for breakfast, lunch, dinner. If you dry it up a bit, you can also carry it in your tiffin. And I'm just going to garnish it with some finely chopped coriander leaves. So do try out this recipe, guys. So let's start with today's lovely recipe. Now here I've sprouted 1 cup of chana or kala vatana, and now I'm going to pressure cook it for 1 whistle on high and simmer it for 10 minutes. This is how it will look. Now we're going to make a coarse paste, and for that paste I've taken half a cup of fresh coconut, about 4 dried red chilies, 2 tablespoons of tamarind soaked in some water, and some garam masala. Then I'm going to grind all the whole spices, grind the red chilies, grind the coconut along with this tamarind water to a very coarse paste. Now we're going to heat 1 tablespoon of oil in a pan. And once the oil is hot, I'm going to add half a teaspoon of mustard seeds. Once the mustard seeds begin to splutter, I'm going to add half a teaspoon of turmeric powder or haldi powder, half a teaspoon of red chili powder. Then we're going to add some 7 to 8 curry leaves. Now once the curry leaves are nice and fried, we're going to add this paste that we have ground, this coarse paste. Now we're going to fry this paste really, really well. Once the paste is nice and fried, we're going to add the black vatanas that is sprouted along with the water that we have cooked it in the pressure pan. Mix everything really, really well. Now I'm going to add the water that it was cooking in the pressure pan. So for 1 vati of sprouted vatana, I've used about 2 cups of water. So I'm adding that water too. And we're going to mix everything really, really well. Now to sprout this black gram or black vatana, what I did is I took 1 cup of vatana, washed it really well, and then I kept it soaked in water for about 10 hours. Now I'm going to add some salt to taste. Then after 10 hours, I took out all the water and let the chana rest in for about another 8 to 10 hours, and then you'll see that it starts to sprout. So when you're sprouting it, there should not be any water. So the water should be taken out after soaking it for 10 hours and then keeping it without any water for 10 hours, and you'll get the sprouts. And now I'm going to add about 1 tablespoon of jaggery or gur. And when I'm pressure cooking this 1 cup, I've used 2 cups of water and pressure cooked it on 1 whistle on high, and then simmered it or kept it on a low flame for about 10 minutes till it gets nice and cooked. Now we're just going to stir everything together. And now I'm going to add 1/4 cup of chopped coriander leaves. But now the recipe is not yet done. The most important part is there, and that is we're going to take a tadka pan or a tempering pan, and I'm going to add about 1 tablespoon of oil to it. So we're going to add this tempering or this tadka or this fodni, and all we're going to do is just going to add a lot of chopped up garlic or lasun. So I've taken about, I think, 8 to 10 cloves of garlic and really chop them very, very fine. And once the oil is hot, I'm going to add the garlic to this, and I'm going to fry the garlic really well. If you haven't ever tried, giving a fodni of garlic to your dals or some of these special usals, you should. It just tastes amazing. And just to elevate the flavor, I'm going to add about 1/4 teaspoon of red chili powder, and again fry everything really, really well. And once all of this is really fried well, I'm going to add this to our usal, our kala vatatna usal, and I'm going to mix everything really well. And now our usal is finally ready. So you must try out this dish, guys. It's super, super delicious. In fact, you can eat it all by itself, or it goes really well with some nice hot steamed rice or even some puris or chapatis. So I hope you do try out this recipe, and I'll catch you soon in my next recipe. See you guys. Bye. So friends, let's see today's Dalimbi usal, which is field beans, val, lima. They have very different names. So I've taken 1 vati of this dalimbi. I've washed it well, and I've soaked it in 3 vatis of water for at least 10 hours. After 10 hours, I'm going to drain out all the water and keep it for another 10 hours. And then you will see that it begins to sprout like this. So now our dalimbi is ready for our lovely usal. Now I'm going to soak this in water for another 2 hours. It's not yet ready actually, because we have to take off the peel. So now that I've soaked it in water for 2 hours, you can just take out the peel very easily. So they are sprouted and nicely peeled. So now we are ready to make the usal. Now here I've taken 1 tablespoon of oil in a pan. Once the oil is hot, I'm going to add half a teaspoon of mustard seeds. Once they begin to splutter, I'm going to add half a teaspoon of jeera or cumin seeds. Next, I'm going to add half a teaspoon of asafoetida or hinga and half a teaspoon of turmeric powder or haldi powder. Then I'm going to throw in a few curry leaves. Try to use fresh curry leaves if possible, because that really brings out the flavor. Now give all of this a nice quick stir. Add in your lovely dalimbi. This is one of my favorite usals. It's so delicious. I also have a recipe for dalimbi bhat or pulao. I'll share that soon. Now saute this for half a minute. Let it get nicely mixed with the bagar or the fodni. This gets ready also very quickly. All you have to do is just prep the dalimbi or the val in advance. Now I'm just going to add 2 vatis of water or 2 cups of water, because now we have to cook this. It's still in a raw form, so we have to cook it till it gets nice and soft. Now we're going to stir everything, and then you're going to cover and cook this for 8 minutes on a low flame, stirring in intervals. After 8 minutes, our beans are cooked. Now we can season it. So first I'm going to give it a gentle stir. Then I'm going to add some salt to taste. Now I like using pink salt, the Himalayan pink salt or Himalayan rock salt. Give it a good mix. And now I'm going to add 1.5 teaspoon of red chili powder. You can also bring 1.4 teaspoon. Then I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of goda masala or kala masala, which is homemade. If you can't make it at home, it's available in all supermarkets. I'll leave a link of how I prepare my goda masala at home. Now I'm going to add some jaggery or gur. I'm adding half a tablespoon, but you can add it as per your taste. If you don't have gur or jaggery at home, just use sugar. Or if you don't like the sweetness, you can just skip it out altogether. Now cover and cook this for at least 8 minutes on a low flame and stirring in between. And now usal is all ready. It's so delicious, guys. You have to try it if you've never tried Dalimbi usal. Go to your supermarket today or your store and just buy this. It's called val, Dalimbi beans, field beans. And just garnish it with some fresh coconut. Freshly grated coconut, and you can put some coriander as well, and it's all ready. So do try out this recipe and let me know how you like it. To see more videos like this, then don't forget to leave this video a big thumbs up. Also, by clicking the thumbs up icon. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and become a part of Akshata's recipes. Once you have subscribed, there is a small little bell icon that will pop up, so just click on that. That way, whenever I put up a new recipe or a new video, you get a message for the same. So on that note, I'll say bye and I'll catch you in my next video sooner than you think. This is Akshata saying bye, take care, stay healthy, stay fit, be kind and loving to one another. So till we meet again, bye.